Hey, this is Jonah Rosenblum. Welcome to Portage Football Live. I wanted to start out with a look at Week 2. Now, we still have three PTC County Division teams that have a 2-0 record, and Garfield gave a great fight against Cuyahoga Heights, a team that was in the state championship game last year. So the County Division continues to look very impressive. And on the Metro side of things, we did see Woodridge and Streetsboro rebound from difficult Week 1 losses. The Rockets were particularly impressive, a 67-0 win, their first ever win at beautiful Quinn Fields. And in that win, we saw the depth of the program. I think we all know about guys like Russell Kendall and Will Butler, but we saw guys like Andrew Douglas step up, a really good sophomore on the defensive line. Hank Carey, a very impressive junior tight end and also a great defender. At the running back position, we saw behind Kendall, Chris Riley Richardson, and we also saw Chris Bear Anderson. So again, the Rockets are a lot deeper than perhaps any of us realized. We also saw, again, the G-Men, despite losing quarterback Ryan Brown and running back Anthony DeNigris during the game, the G-Men continued to fight. They only lost 28-13, and the good news for the G-Men is their schedule is such that they've got a couple of 0-2 teams coming up. Then Windham in Week 5 is a big challenge, but then they don't get Mogadore, Rootstown, and Southeast until Weeks 8 through 10. So I think the G-Men are fortunate in that they have some time to recover from their Week 2 injuries and get things back on track. And then finally, Springfield brought back to earth in the Metro. They won against Ellet in Week 1. We wondered how good the Spartans could be. They lose 60-6 to Akron East in Week 2, and so Coventry, the only perfect team remaining in the Metro Division. I wanted to quickly touch on my football reports. Hopefully you are reading them. But my Metro football report, which can be found on Record-Courier.com, I talked a little bit about the Falcons, who despite their 0-2 record have been very competitive. They had two bad quarters, a terrible first quarter against Rootstown and a bad second quarter against Southeast. But again, the Falcons have been competitive. And for Coach Randy Moore, he said his young team just needs to learn how to not let things spiral on him. I also talked about the Ravenna Ravens, who are dealing with injuries, particularly the loss of their quarterback, Bowen Brown, for a couple of weeks at least, and Isaiah Dixon. And so I checked in with the Ravens to kind of see how they are recovering from those injuries. Again, that's at Record-Courier.com. And then in my county football report, I check out the Southeast defense, which was very impressive last week. Particularly Canton Proctor did an incredible job in coverage against Fields. I also check out the Rootstown defense in the second year under Coach Randy McCoy. He is back as their defensive coordinator. And he has implemented a very aggressive approach that works really well because the Rovers have experience and they also have incredible speed in the secondary that allows them to take risks up front. And then finally, I look at Mogadore, which had to pull out a tight game. It was 21-21 late in the fourth quarter at Geneva. The Wildcats, a young team, showed their toughness, showed their guts by pulling out that victory at Geneva. And again, that's all at Record-Courier.com. Let's go through my 5 big matchups of the week. Chagrin falls at Woodridge. Woodridge won this game pretty easily last year, but the Bulldogs defense has been a little bit off to start the year, giving up 47 points and 36 points. And Chagrin Falls has been pretty competitive, at least to start the year against Canton and Kirtland, so we'll see about that one. East Canton at Rootstown, I think, is an interesting game. East Canton won it 12-7 last year. Now, again, the Rovers, I think, are a completely different team this year. They've got Caleb Kaut back. Randy McCoy is in his second year at this defense. The Rovers should be favored, but East Canton does have big play capability. They scored 37 points against Lucas in Week 1, so we will see about that one. My third biggest matchup of the week is Windham at Jackson Milton. This is a game that Jackson Milton won last year by 21 points, but it was early in the season, and the Bombers went on to win 6 of their final 8 games, so a very interesting contest there. And then finally, second matchup, Ellet at Fields. I think this is a chance for the Falcons to pick up their first win. Yes, the Orange Men crushed them last year, but that was with Marquise Bridges, who burned Field for 338 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Marquise Bridges is gone now, and so I think the Falcons do have a chance to pick up their first victory against the Orange Men. We'll see about that. And then finally, my matchup of the week, no surprise, it's rivalry week, Kent Roosevelt and Ravenna. Ravenna has won the last few in this matchup. But Roosevelt brings big play capability. We saw Jaron Browder with a 36-yard touchdown catch against Stowe. Kelvon Blackman, of course, is one of the great players in this league, in the Suburban League. He is such an electric player. So again, Jim Lenardi with Ravenna was telling me they have to watch out for the Rough Riders' dynamic big play capabilities. And then for the Ravens, even though Bowen Brown and Isaiah Dixon are out, they still have a stable of running backs and wide receivers that make them dangerous in any game. So it'll be fun to watch that one, and you can check it all out at Record-Courier.com. And of course, follow me at JLR Sports on Twitter. Thank you so much.